waves lead to water shortages, reduced crop yields, and increased health problems like dehydration and heat strokes. Vulnerable communities often struggle with the lack of resources to cope with extreme heat. In the US, heat waves cause health issues such as heat exhaustion and respiratory problems, especially in cities. They also lead to higher energy use for air conditioning, which can strain power grids and cause economic losses from reduced productivity and damage to infrastructure. Let's talk about some solutions. In Africa, solutions include water management, climate resilient farming, and health programs, while the US can expand cooling centers, invest in renewable energy, and create more green spaces. Let's talk about 3 fun facts. Climate change is causing global temperatures to rise, leading to more frequent severe heat waves. Heat waves are lasting longer due to climate change, increasing their impact on health, agriculture, and infrastructure. Climate change is altering the geographic patterns of heat waves, causing them to occur in regions that were previously less affected. To conclude, in Africa, solutions include water management, climate resilient farming, and health programs, while the US can expand cooling centers, invest in renewable energy, and create more green spaces.
For my segment, I plan to focus on the specific effects of greenhouse gases on public health in US and Africa, highlighting how increasing air pollution in the US is leading to more respiratory problems and other health issues. While in Africa, climate change-driven droughts and food shortages are severely impacting the health and well-being of vulnerable populations. The United Nations reports that by 2030, up to 118 million extremely poor people in Africa will be exposed to drought, floods, and extreme heat due to climate change, severely impacting food security and health. The CDC states that in the US, over 700 people die each year from extreme heat, and the World Health Organization estimates that climate change will cause approximately 250,000 additional deaths per year, globally between 2030 and 2050, with heat stress being a significant factor.
Good evening. Today I'm examining the pressing issue of rising sea levels and its growing impact on coastal communities in Africa and the Americas. The increase is largely due to rising global temperatures caused by greenhouse gas emissions, which trap more heat in the Earth's atmosphere. African coastlines have experienced a steady rise in sea levels for 4 decades. At the current pace, sea levels are projected to rise 0.3 meters by 2030. Affecting 117 million Africans. The steady rise in sea levels along African coastlines is a difficult result of climate change and global warming. In many locations along the U.S. coastlines, the rate of local sea level rise is greater than the global average due to land processes like erosion, oil, and groundwater pumping and subsidence. In 2023, the global average sea level reached a record high of 101.4 mm, or 3.99 inches, above 1993 sea levels. In both the U.S. and Africa, low-lying coastal regions are facing increased threats due to rising sea levels, similar to what's happening in the Pacific Islands nations of Kiribati. For example, in Louisiana and Florida in the U.S. and Lagos in Nigeria, frequent flooding in coastal regions are impacting communities, damaging infrastructure, and contaminating freshwater sources and rising seas.
Oh my God.
In conclusion, the rising sea levels in both Africa and the U.S. cause detriment to vast amounts of people in both countries.
4100, we got it for real. Push up on me, I don't recommend. Like, I'm trying to catch me.
Good morning, guys. My name is Andrew Menace, and you know this is Andrew Menace News 3.org. And I'm here with a U.S. African citizen by the name of Ufafwefwe Onyezabwefwe Osas. And we're here to let you know today that heat waves in Africa and the U.S. cause severe health, economic, and environmental problems, with Africa focusing on traditional